G'day everyone. As you can see, back on the boat. I'm not going to be doing much in the boat this week. What we're going to be doing is taking some parts back and working on them at home to try and make this back area a little bit more user friendly. So this is what we got going on. I'm sure you've seen down here, but these rear pieces that they made, I don't know what they are, but they haven't held up very well, and that just looks like mongrel treated pine to me. So we're going to replace them. I'm going to make new back sections because they're all rotted out in the corner. And then the engine hatch isn't too bad. Oh, excuse the glare. The engine hatch isn't too bad, but both of the chair sections are pretty ordinary. So I'm going to load them in the tinny, take them home, and we're going to remake them. Start actually getting some of the woodwork sorted. So let's do that. All right, so here we are. We made it off the boat, so that's a bonus. And this is what we're remaking. So these are they're not the engine covers, but they go either side of the engine. The engine hatch is in the middle, and the seat boxes, which I'll show you in a sec, sit over the top, so they sort of locate over the top of this. And as you can see, it's a little bit unhappy. So we're going to remake them. Both the seat bases are the same, and then this is the worst seat, but it's stuffed. So, you know, it needs redoing. We're going to remake the box basically as it is. I'm not going to change it just yet. I do have plans in the future to redesign the back seating position of the boat, but that's later on down the track. So what we're using is CD structural ply. It's pine plywood. It is assembled with waterproof glue, so the glue won't fall apart, but the timber's not sealed, so technically it's not a marine grade timber. But I've got some enamel paint there. We're going to put several coats of enamel paint on it. That should seal it up nice and give me a little bit more structural rigidity than what there is right now. So let me get you set up, mark it all out, make it happen. Right, so before I put all the top retaining bits on, I'm going to paint them. That way there's no bits left. No bits left unpainted, so it's fully sealed before I go and put the top sections on that hold the seats. So that's what I'm using. It's a oil-based enamel, high gloss white. It'll do. So these are not outside bits, and again they're semi-permanent, so I want to change the whole layout of the boat, like I said, or the back seating layout of the boat. So these will probably end up going eventually anyway, so I think that's going to work pretty good. And yeah, I'll try rolling it first, we'll see what happens. Alright, next step, we're going to measure up and cut all these new pieces. So I do just have treated pine again to go back down, but I'm going to smash it with heaps of the enamel paint, so hopefully that'll protect it. I won't bother filming that, it's just docking the length and then I'll mark them out and screw them on. So a little bit carried away, but I mean, you saw me cut it up, you saw me paint it, so it's all together. There's 2 layers, well actually that one's probably about 4 layers. This is all done. I'll put another layer of that in the morning, but you know, it's pretty good. This one is Run City, but I tell you what, you're not going to get any moisture come up through the timber. So yeah, nearly died. So carpet, that's all that's left. Once that all dries, we carpet it up, and they're good to go back in the boat. All right, here we go. Have to excuse the noise, we're out in the shed and it's decided it's going to bucket down, so hopefully it doesn't come up too bad on the camera. This is what we're going to use to glue it up. It's Selly's Quick Grip. This is by far the best stuff I've ever found for a contact adhesive cement. It works really good. I've tried, you know, various pressure packs, 3M, bits and pieces, and they just don't seem to hold. So this stuff is really messy, it stinks, but it sticks like the proverbial to a blanket. So that's what we're going to use, and it's going to stay there. So I'll set up a time lapse, we'll get them all covered. Alright, there we have it. But I stuffed up because for some reason they didn't make this carpet go all the way around. It only covers 3 sides. This side was supposed to be covered, the other side was supposed to be left open because that's where the engine hatch goes. Sits in there. The engine hatch sits in here and that side was left bare timber, no carpet. Not a big deal, I'll just have to go and buy some of this marine carpet, re-glue that side and put it on. So I don't entirely know what's going on, but it looks like the glue might have reacted with the paint, so might all be in vain anyway. But anyway, they're on and I've ran out of glue. So what I will do is I've got some upholstery cleaner. I'll give these a little scrub and see if they come up, because they're still a bit ordinary. Well, that didn't seem to do much. They look alright on camera just because they're shiny, but I didn't really get any of the gunk out of the pores of the thing, so that was what I used, just a generic cleaner. If anybody knows of anything good to put into it to try and get all this, like you can see it's all sort of dark and black in the pores of the material, let me know, because I would like to clean these up properly. But anyway, that'll do for now. I'll have to get some more glue and finish it off. Alright, that's all we're going to get done. I was trying to think of a good way to end this video, but I mean, at the moment it's pouring down rain and I'm just not going to get back out to the boat before I want to release this video. So what I thought I would do is just, I mean, the channel, in all thank you to everybody out there who subscribed or viewed or commented, the channel's gone quite big quite quick. What I thought I would do is just go over a few of the common questions that have come up in the comments. Try and get a few of those answered. And what I will, I've got a few photos of the boat out of the water, and I'll try and put a couple of them up. And yeah, also I suppose a little bit about me. So we'll start with the comments. Am I crazy? Yeah, probably a little bit, but that's all right. You know, everybody is to a degree. No, in all seriousness. Am I an optimist? Definitely. I know there's going to be more work there than what I've found, I guarantee it, but, you know, man's got to do something, doesn't he? So that's where we're at. Yes, it is a 4-cylinder petrol. Do I like it? Not really. I think it's way too small for the boat, and I would very much prefer diesel. The bloke said, do you want to swap a petrol? So I swapped a petrol. That's where I'm at. Later on down the track, it could very likely go for a repower. What I would use for that, I don't know. A diesel of some sort, obviously. But that's down the track. I mean, as you've all seen, there's plenty of work to do on the boat. The engine runs, drives. You know, I could go out there now, you know, not in this, but I could turn the key, fire it up, and drive it around the lake. So as it stands, the engine's staying for now. Brings me on to the next question, the bike. Now, the bike is on the channel as well. If you search through, you'll find the playlist for it. It was a project, so I brought that for $750. I purchased that bike for. I went through and did 2/3 of a full respray. I didn't respray every part because I didn't need it. Basically got the bike to look pretty, put it back on the road, rode it for a while, and then thought, you know, I don't really need it, I want to sell it. Gets us to where we are now. Now that bike is it's actually a 1990 Kawasaki GPX 750R. Fairly rare bike around here, and it was in good nick, but you know, these things come and go, and that one, it was time to go. I will leave a link to that playlist, maybe up here, or if not, it'll definitely be in the description, and you can check that out. So it was a nice bike, it was a finished project. I'm not one for hanging on to finished projects, I never have been. I always like working on things, and might have bitten off more than I can chew, but that's where we are. Now the boat itself, so Kiara was lifted out of the water about 4 years ago, and it was on the hard stand for nearly 2 years. undertaking substantial, I don't know if they were repairs or rebuilds because I don't have the full facts there, but a lot of work below the waterline. The hull was, I'm going to say, had a lot of work done to it. Specifically, I don't know, but that's why when you lift the floors, all the timbers look fairly new. And I do have photos of it, and I'll try and put them in this little section of video, as I said. But I think what happened was somebody did a lot of the work on the bottom, and I believe that was when the engine went in too. I think that's when the repower happened. So they did a lot of work to the bottom, and they did a little bit of work to the top, and I just don't think they finished the top properly. I found a few tins of just water-based house paint in the boat, and I'm pretty sure that's what the top deck was painted with, which is why it just hasn't lasted. Now the boat has been in the water for about 2 years. And in that time, it was only ran a handful of times, and essentially the person I got it off, hard to describe, but basically the person he got it off was too old to, or possibly too old, or just not in a position to handle a boat of that size anymore. The guy I got it off, he didn't really want it. He sort of got it as a bit of an opportunity and then realised it was just not what he wanted. He wanted a bike. That leads us to now. So when I say the boat is in good structural condition, that's because it is, and it was rebuilt not that long ago. Top deck needs work, we know that, but the hull, the engine and the drive system is in good functioning condition. So it leads us sort of round circle back to the first question, am I crazy? I am, but it wasn't a completely, just jump in the deep end decision. I did have a good look at it. And anyway, that about leads us to that. So next time we can get out there, I'm hoping, maybe next weekend, because this weekend's shot, maybe next weekend, I'm going to try and get some good footage of it running. I'll show you a cold start, I'll lift it off, get it off the mooring, and we'll go and take it for a run around the lake. Because it's in a position where it can do that, and anyway, I feel like people might want to see it. I certainly want to do it, because why not? I brought a boat to use it, let's use it. Anyway, that's enough yammering. Again, can't thank you enough for all the support. It's been overwhelming, the amount of support that's been coming through, and certainly all the new subscribers and everything. I am blown away, so thank you very much. Continue to subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the videos. And we'll see you on the next one.